Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers that are out there preaching and teaching the truth worldwide across the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom for this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David, and the Akim and Akwaf that might be listening to this lesson on today. This is your brother Abad Yabak coming through with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the title of my lesson is Esau is the Wicked. Now, wicked is defined as individuals who engage in evil, dishonest, and immoral actions that go against Yahweh's commands. We know who's in charge right now. We know whose kingdom that we're under right now. And we know who has control as far as what goes on and what does not go on in Babylon the Great, which is America right now at this point. So without further ado, I'm going to bring forth scriptures that basically show through biblical scriptures who the wicked is. And I'm going to start off in Job 9:24. And it reads, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we know, once again, who's in charge. So that lets us know that Esau is the wicked. He's in charge of everything. He's, when you look at any positions of power right now in Babylon the Great, that's Esau. So it cannot be denied who the wicked is when it comes to that. So we have to understand, as being who we are and who we serve, us being Israelites and who we serve, being Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that we have to focus on the works. We have no power. We have no control right now of things. We're looking to be on those chariots at the end of this. So building right now in this kingdom is for naught. We should understand, and we do understand as being in this truth, that our job is to please Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That brings me to my next scripture, which is Psalms 58:3-4. And it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. So we know that, Esau is is good at telling lies, good at, from the beginning, being untruthful as far as even our history books, the things that have been done over time, as far as how we live our life. We have to be mindful, how things go about, who has control. And they refuse to listen to the word. They're rebellious. So we have to understand who the wicked is. And once again, this proves that the wicked is Esau. Psalms 73:3-6, and it reads, it says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. So what stands out in these scriptures is the one in verse 5. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So we, over our time as living, all of us are Darius, Salaki, all of us are different ages, and various ages. And we know over time, like, we can do something and Esau could do something and it's totally different. They can get away with murder, so to speak, and we cannot. So that proves that these scriptures, they command our attention, but also gives us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we do have, and lets us know that we cannot play around. You know, each and every day is another opportunity and chance to give Habashim Yahshua the honor, glory, and praise for just keeping us and covering us so we don't have to deal with certain things. Because when we are unrighteous, we have to deal even more with the inequality and the unbalance of what goes on day in and day out. Proverbs 2:21-22 reads, it says, "For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it." And the transgressors are those that violate the law, command, moral code, etc., and offend and sin. So we know who the transgressors are, and we know what that land is. That land is Israel, and right now it's being inhabited by Edomites, and we ourselves are just waiting on Yahweh's return in order for us to get in our rightful place and for our kingdom to be built and be restored as to our rightful place. Right now, we know where we are. We know what we deal with on a daily, and we can't deny who's in power right now. But right now is a time for us to do the work. It is time to show who we believe in, who we're faithful to, and to endure to the end. That's what our job is right now. And we don't desire to be in power right now because the world is filled with wickedness, evil, corruption, and confusion, wickedness. So we know that our time is coming, so we just have to wait. And that brings me to Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." And what are we doing right now, day in and day out? We're dealing with more and more wickedness, more and more evil, more and more confusion. So we're in a mourning state right now. And until we get to the end of this, until our journey is finished, we will be in mourning because we are not in rulership. But when our time comes, once again, everyone will rejoice. And that is the time that we're waiting on patiently right now. Proverbs 29:16 reads, it says, "When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall." And we are patiently waiting for that fall of these people that are in rulership, these people that are constantly and consistently keeping us down and making rules and laws to keep us in a position that we're in. Esau's kingdom will fall, and it will be soon come. And right then is when we know that this time of rulership is going to be over. That brings me to Ezekiel 36:5. And it reads, it says, "Therefore Thus saith the Lord power. Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. And Idumea, in the blue letter, it translates to Edom, which also means Edomite, Idumean, and that is the descendants of Esau, which have appointed my land and their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. So that proves once again who the wicked is and where we stand right now. We are the righteous, we are the holy, we are the set apart, we are the hopeful elect, and we desire to be in right standing with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but there are some that do not, and they are in rulership right now. And that's why we are dealing with what we deal with day in and day out. And it is not about our will, but Yahweh Shem Yahushua's will being done. So in order for us to be the true judges that he wants us to be, we have to see from both sides. And we have to understand that this is not our time right now. But we have to get ourselves together. We have to be righteous in order to rule correctly. Because it says, once again, in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people are going to rejoice. And that day is what we're waiting on. And my final scripture is coming from Psalms 37 and 34. And it reads, it says, wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. The land, once again, is Israel. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. And that's just another precept off of Proverbs 29:16. And I ended it off with that because we're going to see that fall, and it's going to be soon come. But we have to endure to the end. We have to be patient, and we have to have that understanding that Yahweh Shem Yahushua doesn't make mistakes, and we can't make it come sooner, and we can't desire for it to come later for us to get ourselves together. And I'm only having that response because some think that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to wait on them to get it right. Everything is going to come in Yahweh Shem Yahushua's will, and he's positioned everything to come about as it should. Prophecies are being fulfilled daily, and we only have one thing that we're waiting on is the MOTB, and that is soon come. That is right on the cusp of happening. So your affairs need to be in order, and you just need to be doing the righteous acts right now today. So with that being said, we are close. We know who the wicked is. We know who's in rulership right now, but it is soon to come to an end. So that is the conclusion of my lesson. I pray that all were listening, were edified, and as always, I give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. And until my next lesson, Shalom.